So in the course that I was doing, entrepreneurship, they made us in our final year. I think we had to register our business. I got to be exposed to the mining sector and I just fell in love with it. So just because the papers were there, the documentation of how to get into the industry were there, how to apply for a vendor number. So when I started up, I was supplying mining consumables at the mine. I think it's we let our work speak for ourselves in terms of service provision. We don't just do work just because we want to finish and get paid. Starting out, my biggest challenge was capital. The problem would be when I get a huge order and I don't have money to fund that. So sometimes I would reject orders because I cannot fund them. Or I would borrow from other people. And the problem is they charge interest. I went to NYDA, but I didn't.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. And I went to also SEDA. No.
They didn't work out.
I gave up. I decided to save my own money yet. So I think the only thing that has helped me to grow is reinvesting in the business. Do not fall into the trap of listening to your doubt, because doubt is going to be there because you'll be intimidated because you are a woman, you're in a male-dominated space. Let's not only talk about the challenges of being in a male-dominated.
Also the benefits. I like
benefits. There are benefits, When you're a woman, you are also recognized. Like they want to give you an opportunity also to show that you can.
Hi everyone, my name is Mbebe, and welcome back to Mind Your Business podcast. In this podcast, we mainly focus on business and corporate. In terms of corporate, we speak about your profession. We believe that after every show that we will be having, you'll be inspired so that you can follow your dreams. As you know, every time, like I promised on our first episode, that I'll be bringing guests who are masters in the field and who have walked the walk, who will also share about their challenges and where they come from, so that it becomes practical and so that you can be also more motivated. So today I brought you a guest. She's a young lady. I believe I can call her a young lady because she's of my age. Yes, she's of my age. I will allow her to introduce herself. Welcome, Lulu.
Thank you so much, Bethwell. It's an honor to be here.
Yes.
So I'm introducing myself.
Yes, please. Introduce yourself so that people can get to know who you are.
Okay, so my name is Lulu Ndhlovu. I am a founder of MCC Engineering. I'm a mom of 3 amazing boys, and I'm a wife. Yeah.
Okay, so on every episode that we will be having here, we have these questions for breaking an ice. Okay. So they seem like a bit challenging. But they are about breaking the ice. So because it's all about mindfulness.
Okay.
So the question that I have for you is mindful business leadership. So I want you to maybe just briefly tell us what set apart a leader that is a mindful leader and a successful leader.
Mindful leadership.
Yes, mindful leadership and successful leadership. Yeah.
Okay. I think actually my favorite is mindful leadership.
Okay.
I think I am a mindful leader. Hey?
Okay, let's break it down.
Because I think when a mindful leader is someone who is more involved with their employees, he cares, as a person who cares and wants to be involved. And then a successful leader is like he focuses on the results.
The growth, production.
Yeah, the production, the sales. He doesn't care what the people are going through. He doesn't engage. So I think that's what sets them apart. The styling of the managing.
So I think because look what you're saying there, I've once read this book, John Maxwell, where he says people don't care about how much you know, but they care more about how much you care about them. So based also on leadership and employees that you have, the more they know that you care about them, it is the more they'll commit, it is the more they'll come to work, it is the more so if you're more involved, you'll be like, okay, our leader is, our boss is more involved, so we need to give extra hours.
That's true.
Okay. That's true. So last question in terms of breaking ice, ne? We in terms of business scaling, you understand, I just want you to maybe briefly tell us, advise an entrepreneur who wants to grow a business, and how do you go about scaling? Because recently I think we've been on social media, there's one entrepreneur, young, successful. Most of us, we are looking up to him. So now his business is under liquidation. So other people, they say it's because of the scaling. He was growing too fast. You know, so there's a lot of comments around that. So do you have any advice for anyone who wants to scale their business in terms of business growth?
I think I can say reinvesting in the business, especially for startups like myself. I'm a startup now.
Okay. We're clarifying it.
Yes, I'm still starting up. I'm not there yet. So I think the only thing that has helped me to grow is reinvesting in the business. Because I just want to explain, give an example. So when I started up, I was supplying mining consumables at the mine, Tungela. And then we got to a point where we now had to include labor hire. So when we got jobs to do to provide a service, we, for example, if we had to bring in a boiler maker, a welder, I'd hire machinery from outside. And then when it comes to profit, the profit would be like not enough, because now I have to pay for hiring and labor and transport and that. So as we worked, I made sure that I reinvest back into the business by buying those equipment
that you need.
So now when we work, it's less cost and more profit. And it's resulting in growth.
That was an icebreaker. A whole conversation. Okay, so let's just go back now. Can you maybe, but you did introduce yourself already, but maybe just give it maybe a detailed background of maybe who you are, where you come from, the schools that you went to.
So I was born in Mkhuhlu. I don't know if you know.
Mkhuhlu. I've never been there. But, you know, when I was born in Nelspruit. So when you're in Nelspruit, long distance, there's a taxi. You know, it's like,
so I was born in
Bank.
I was born in Mkhuhlu and I grew up there. I went in primary there, and then I moved to Limpopo in Gowankowa to stay with my grandmother from my mother's side. So my mom is from Limpopo, my dad is from Mkhuhlu. So I stayed there. My grandmother raised me until she passed in 2008. And then I had to come back. But when I came back, I didn't stay with my parents. I stayed at the boarding school.
Hostel.
I stayed there until matric. And then after matric, I went to UJ to study there. And then after my studies, I came to Witbank because of Mshado.
So you After varsity, you went straight to Mshatwe?
Yeah.
Varsity.
I went straight to Mshatwe.
Okay, so you were following your husband. Okay.
So I relocated to Witbank. And then from then, I've been here.
Okay, really. So since you moved to Witbank, when you first came to Witbank, did you work in your life before you went to business?
Yeah, I used to work. I worked for a year.
A year? Wow.
And then ever since I've been
What were you doing at work?
I was doing admin for a contractor that is also working for Tungela.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I got into what I'm doing now.
Okay. So, but what did you study at UJ?
I studied entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. So obviously you knew that one day.
That's what I wanted. I think it's because of the surroundings that I was around. My grandmother, remember I stayed with my grandmother. So she used to have rich family friends. And when they came over, I'd be like, I want to be like them one day, because they were also entrepreneurs. Also my dad, his friends are entrepreneurs, so I'd admire from far. So yeah.
So basically for you to move into entrepreneurship, you're inspired by your surroundings and people that they came into your family as friends.
The exposure. It's important.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah.
So I was exposed to those people.
Okay. So now you say you work about for a year. So then obviously you just told us what inspired you to go to business. So but how did you then, like you worked as admin for a year and moving to entrepreneurship, a business? That's a bold move. Bold move. How did you go about starting your business?
So in the course that I was doing, entrepreneurship, it was, they made us, in our final year, I think we had to register our business. So I already had the documentations already. And then after I graduated, the plan was to venture into agriculture, because my grandfather is into agriculture, but not a formal like successful business. You know, when you're farming at home.
Yeah, you just farm and just sell.
So he had, so he had the knowledge. I had the
entrepreneurial background.
Yes. So I thought we're gonna work together, because my business was registered as AgriSem. Agri for agriculture, and Sem, my grandfather's name is Samson. So I took I took the first letters of his name and just put it together. So that didn't work out. But the documents were there. So when I came to Witbank, my husband was like, what job are you going to get with entrepreneurship qualification? How about you do admin, short course? So I went to Centurion Academy to do admin. It was a short course for I think 6 months. And then there I met someone who works for that company that I worked for. That's how I got the job.
It was a destiny connect. Actually, because I think if you do entrepreneurship, you can apply for a job as an admin, then you can be employed.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you do any admin stuff under entrepreneurship?
I do. We do. Yeah, as a course, as a subject.
Yeah, so it's related.
So I worked there, and then while I was there, I got to learn how things are done, because I was so frustrated. I got to learn I got to be exposed to the mining sector, and I just fell in love with it. So just because the papers were there, the documentation of how to get into the industry were there, you know, how to apply for a vendor number, they need to So I had those, and I also had the exposure, and I had already met the end users there.
So then, when did you get to the point to say enough about this job? When did you quit? Were you already operating internally?
No, I was not operating.
Just going to be conflict of interest,
I was not operating. I was pregnant with my second born.
Oh, wow.
And I had enough. You know, I used to do more than what I was employed to do. Like more than one task, and it's not even part of my job description. And I was underpaid, I was pregnant, so I was just
Okay.
Yeah, that pushed me to actually send in that resignation letter.
Okay. So after sending the resignation letter, then you went back to as a business. Take us through that process.
So, isn't I was pregnant, ne? I think I was in my second trimester. So I couldn't do much. Most of the time I would just apply for a vendor number. That was my first step that I took. And then I would send emails to the supply chain to ask Uguti, how do I supply for you guys? I have this and that. And then they actually helped me. They knew me.
Okay. So that's a support. Yeah.
Yeah, they knew me, so they supported me in guiding me how to apply for a vendor, what I need. Fortunately, I already had what I need, like in terms of your CK, your tax clearance, everything. So yeah, I just applied and waited for them to respond. It took me like 6 months to get my vendor number.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy it because
yeah, I know you wait for the process.
How
Yeah.
other people say these things. You said they sell vendor numbers.
They sell numbers, is it?
And I'm like, no, I didn't. I applied for
it. Then it took about 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, like that space that you're operating in, it's mainly male dominated, and it's also quite dangerous.
Yes.
It's a dangerous space. It's not a child space. How are you coping in that male-dominated?
Okay, when you say dangerous, what do you mean?
I mean, like, it depends with the tender that you get to supply. You know, we have heard that people have been killed because someone got a tender of about 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, and someone was hoping to get that tender. You know, so it's dangerous in that manner. So how are you coping?
No, we're coping male dominated.
Yeah.
I think because of the level of work that I'm doing now currently, I'm not really. I haven't reached that stage of being exposed to danger like that. I can just say sometimes I get intimidated.
Okay.
Because I would be in a boardroom. Maybe we're there for a side briefing, and then it's just male, and you can see that these people, they're experienced, they've been in the game for so long, they know what they're doing, they have money, like they can easily
buy you out.
Yeah, so I get intimidated, and I sometimes doubt myself if I can do this, if I should continue with this, like, you know, but I just try to overlook that. Yeah.
Have you had an instance where people offered you something? You know, like those things can happen.
Offer me something, like
like to say, we can give you a tender. Can you, in exchange of this, give us this and stuff? Have you come across, like, it's we can not shy away from that industry. That's what they say. That's what we hear. That's why most of young people, ladies in particular, also, they're quite scared of joining the industry. So even now, other men to say, hey, even men now, they have to offer something, you understand, for them to be internally there.
No,
I mean, like,
I think right now things have changed in the mining. I don't know, maybe it's where I am.
Okay.
Because now we deal with the procurement department directly, like, and it's the head office. It's not people that we see
on the ground level,
or people we can call and say, oh, I saw there's a tender of 3 years, can we talk? Like, we don't have their contacts anymore. Like, it doesn't work like that anymore where I am.
Okay. So that was more of a background business, but tell us about MCC Engineering.
Engineering.
What is it that you guys basically specializing on?
So we supply mining consumables.
Okay. By mining consumables, what do you mean?
I mean, consumables is something that we use like on a regular basis. So, for example, there'll be a department where they deal with boiler making.
Okay.
Obviously, they're gonna use your welding rods, your grinding disc, your cutting discs that they order on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. So we focus on stuff that they run out like all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's mining consumables that we offer. And then recently we have labor hire, where we provide your general workers and artisans. So when there's a certain service that needs to be done, they just call us. We bring in the people and then they come work. So it's not a contract base. It's when they need us.
When they need. So I mean, like, so the people are your employees, or you work with them on a...
They are my employees.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They're my employees.
So how does it work? Let's say like now you, like you say, whenever they want to, you do, then you supply the employees. Are the employees full-time, employees part-time, or you call them to say, guys, there's another work that I need you guys to come? How does it work?
It's part-time. So last year we started on maintenance work at the water treatment plant.
Okay.
So that job took us almost a year. I think we worked for 11 months. So they would say, guys, we need to maintain these pipes, and it's gonna take us maybe 12 months. That we know we're gonna be working for 11 months. So it's a contract. We can say it's a contract for 11 months. So they've been doing that. They've been coming to work to do maintenance work. But then if it's not that long, maybe they would say, we want to repaint our offices. I have my people, they come paint and then we're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
So the problem is we don't have a contract.
Oh, you don't have a contract.
Yeah, we're still working towards having a contract.
Okay. So, MCC, that is your baby. Do you have any other people internal that you work with, and maybe like you are the director? Is it a sole business, complete 100% women owned, or you have other people, joint ventures or stuff?
I don't have joint ventures. I'm the only director. I just have like your site manager, manager, and but they only come when there's a project. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
they're not full time yet.
Yeah, they're not full time yet. Okay.
Yet. You need to scale up.
Yeah. I don't know.
You get a huge tender, maybe, to support to do a whole mining work. You never know.
We are working towards that.
No. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So now MCC, there are many people who does supply whatever that things that you also do supply. What set your business unique or set it apart? What makes it unique? What makes it to be a preferred supplier? Yeah.
I think it's we let our work speak for ourselves in terms of service provision.
Okay.
Like we make sure that when we do something, we stand out. We don't just do work just because we want to finish and get paid.
Okay.
For example, we had a job where we had to do gardening.
Okay.
I know it's outside of our scope, but they asked us to do that. So there was no grass at all. So we had to plant grass from scratch.
Okay.
We did extra from what they required us to do. They just wanted us to plant grass. We planted grass. We made sure that the flowers, we put in like flowers here and there, some stones nyana for deco, so that they talk about us. They ask, and the people were asking, who did the garden?
Okay.
Yo, guys, who did the garden? So that's our
signature.
Yeah.
You go overboard.
Yes.
Okay.
We deliver extra.
So like now you also talk about grass. Are you only supplying or doing that for big companies? Can you do it for individuals who want that?
No, we're only doing for big companies.
Big companies. No, that's good so that people can know. Because like now after here we get texts and calls like, hey, can you come and put grass in my house?
Yeah, I think now for our main focus is just the big companies.
Big companies.
Mela and Eskom.
All right. So now you you study entrepreneurship. Marketing. So
marketing.
Yes, you are studying marketing with the University of South Africa. And how are you planning to make it work for MCC?
Because I just started this year, studying. So, but I've noticed and I've seen as we study that marketing plays a huge role in the growth of a company.
Okay.
So I'm just looking into finding different types of marketing strategies that I can use for my business in order to grow it.
Okay.
I don't have a website. I want a website. I think it's something that I should now start
working on.
Because they would ask us, okay, what is MCC?
Oh.
What do you guys do? Where can we, profiling of your business? So I think I'm gonna do that.
Oh, okay. Do you want services for that?
You provide services?
We can arrange.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, because now I go on different sites to do marketing.
Yeah.
Because that's what we.
Okay. So you actually went for marketing so that you can do that actual thing for.
Yes,
okay.
I wanna help MCC to be known.
Okay.
And grow, and the only way I think it's through marketing.
The marketing, yes. So yes, guys, we are still on the Mind Your Business podcast, and I'm having a conversation with Lulu from MCC Engineering. She's taking us through her journey, the experience that she has. So please do remember to subscribe, like, and share. Do comment so that we can have more engagement and so we can get recognition. So Lulu, we proceed with our interview and our engagement. So now, in your industry, how did you break barriers? And did you face any barriers, challenges, and how did you overcome them?
Starting out, my biggest challenge was capital.
Okay. Yeah. Why didn't I even ask? How do you get the capital? Do you supply?
Because I had just resigned, and so capital was my biggest problem.
Yeah.
But thank God my husband was there. But he used to use his salary for to fund me. So the problem would be when I get a huge order and I don't have money to fund that. So sometimes I would reject orders because I cannot fund them. Or I would borrow from other people. And the problem is they charge interest.
Yeah.
So I had to split and pay the interest to them, and I wouldn't make any profit through that. So how I overcome that, we used to save. We saved up, and then until we have enough money to use for capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, so capital is a huge problem when you're starting out.
Okay. So you used to borrow from people and
But that was not working for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically in your industry, you get an order number, you go buy and supply, and then you wait for that period, working for tenders as an employee. Sometimes I've once worked for a company where
we have to wait.
They say 30 days or 60 days notice.
With Tungela, it's 14 days.
14 days. Oh, not bad.
Much better, ne?
Where I used to work, sometimes we'll get paid on the 35th. I get paid on the 35th. This guy, you are very broke. But you're no, we understand.
So with us, it's 14 days.
14 days. Okay, not bad. Any other challenges? Apart from the capital?
Any other challenges? No, I think good.
I guess what was the capital?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have money, how will you make money?
Okay. As a, I think you are still a youth.
Yes.
Ends at 35.
Yes,
have you tried to go to maybe institutions that help out starting up entrepreneurs?
Helping them with capital.
Yeah, capital, equipment, other people.
I've went to NYDA, but I didn't.
It didn't work out. Okay.
Didn't work out. And I went to also SEDA. No.
It didn't work out.
I gave up. I decided to save my own money because it takes. I think
it takes time. Yeah, it takes time. I remember, like, not when we started our business, I went to NYDA, but I saw like, it's gonna take time. And also NYDA, remember how they assist you. You must be full-time entrepreneur. So obvious, when you're starting up a company, it's the practice. The reality is, you need to have money so that you can push your own company.
Yes.
So most people who are starting up their companies, they use their salaries so that they can fund their business. And once the business start running on their own, then they resign from work.
Yeah.
So I think that gap NYDA needs to bridge, because at some point you cannot say, I'll help you start out, because now already we are full-time there. The minute you understand your vision, where you're going, and if it's viable, then they can assist you. I remember, I think also some of the things that they give, there's a loan, and also there's a grant. There's a grant. Yeah. Also, we went to SEDA. SEDA takes a while,
but do you know?
But they end up coming through.
Do you know people who actually received funding from them?
Yeah, a couple of people.
It's just written in paper.
Nah, there is people that I know. Yes, some of them, they're starting up kitchen. They got this kitchen thing. Others got machinery for their beauty therapy things. Yeah, they do actually come out.
Okay.
And there's a number of people that also once said that during COVID-19 they got funding assistant. Basically, actually, NYDA was going through their database and getting those people. Then they called without applying to say, we'll give you a grant. Yeah, well?
Okay.
So SEDA does assist, but they assist more in terms of your marketing. So if you can go there, show them, obviously they'll just go through with you, check your books, how it works, even if it's not that good, but obviously they're going to check that, and they can help you even your website. They can
really? But it takes long.
It takes long. So obvious, but if you want it like next week,
I think I should visit them.
I should visit their offices. Are here at Voice.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like clicks down, clicks upstairs. Next to clicks. Yeah, they're still there.
Okay.
They do.
All right. So yeah, my challenges have been capital. I just remembered now while we was talking.
Yeah.
We don't have because now we've got employees, ne? So sometimes you might get a job that takes almost a year. So the problem is office space. I don't have an office space. I don't have a workshop. I don't have a transport for them. I have to hire out a transport for them to go there to work. So I think, those are the challenges that I have.
They are good challenges.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna work towards.
You work towards that. Whenever you get a turn, if it's that good, obviously
you know what to
look for a space. Like some offices, you don't have to have something very huge.
Yeah,
you get a lease for 1 year. You pay the 10,000 every month of that space, then you move forward. I'm part of this other WhatsApp group. One entrepreneur says, I think they're here around Mandela Street.
Okay.
He said that he doesn't want to see other startup going through the challenges that he went through. So he is providing his office space. His office space. So if you want to have meetings with people, then you can go there and it's free of charge. But obviously, you need to make an arrangement in advance. He says if you want to do print out and stuff, you can just go there and he'll help you out. I'm like, God, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And I think there's also Raise Corp.
Yes.
Yeah, Raise Corp. A lot of people I used to see, especially ladies, they used to be spending most of time at Raise Corp and they would get assistance.
So those facilities there.
Yeah, there's facilities there.
Okay,
but otherwise, if you get a bigger tender, I think it's always good for you to get your office space. Pay that little portion, then you move forward.
Yeah, it's a form of reinvesting because next time when you get a tender or a job, you use your own transport, unlike paying other guys.
Other guys, ne? Okay. So now you are 100% female, business female owned. So that's a good thing for EBE. Yes. It's a good thing. But then in your industry or in your business per se, Do you have any piece of advice that you'd like to give to women who are starting up?
Who are starting up?
Yes.
That are in a male-dominated.
Male-dominated, yeah. Like, there are those, like I said when we started, there's a lot of myth around the industry. A lot of challenges. How can you maybe give them an advice?
I'd say do not fall into the trap of listening to your doubt, because doubt is going to be there because you'll be intimidated. Because you are a woman, you're in a male-dominated space. So do not entertain that feeling.
Yeah.
You need to push through. You'll get recognized.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think let's not only talk about the challenges of being in a male-dominated.
Yeah, also the benefits. Yeah. I like
benefits. That. There are benefits,
Yeah.
When you're a woman, you are also recognized.
Okay.
Like they want to give you an opportunity also to show that you can do this. So that's
so you must leverage on that.
Yes. Yeah. Take advantage of that. And when you get that opportunity,
deliver.
Do your best. Do your best, because they'll always remember you. But that woman,
she does the work.
Yeah, that woman. Yeah,
and you don't fall there on their trap. Yeah, very, very important. Yes. Get the job, you do it, you excel in it, and you don't fall on their trap.
Yes.
So, just last question, maybe second last question. MMC, you just said that
MCC.
you MCC. I'm sorry, MCC. It's it's a cruise. Never know. Maybe one day you'll apply, you'll fix on a cruise, And that takes us to our next question.
Okay.
Let's talk about the future of MCC. Where do you see it? Where do you want to be? But I doubt that you just want to spend time just being comfortable where you are. What legacy do you want to leave?
Okay. I want MCC to secure like a 5-year long-term contract or even more, because I want to give like permanent opportunities to people. I don't want them to just come for one day today. So I'm looking for a long-term contract with Tungela, Eskom, and the big companies. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to focus mainly on contracting, or one day you just want to go full force? It's the companies. A number of these companies, I know them because I worked for them.
Okay.
And lucky enough, apart from the company that I work for now, I don't have access to the directs because it's a very big company.
Okay.
But the companies that I worked for before, quite big. There's one that is very big, but I had access to the directors because they were just close to my office.
Okay.
And I was a good employee, so when I work, I put my all.
Okay.
Yeah, I put my all. So I used to spend time asking questions. How did you guys start up and stuff? And most of them, like you started now. They started like with supplying. If I can tell you now, the company that I work for now, it's when I left them, because I just love living. I don't spend like much time there.
Yeah.
2-3 years, I
out.
leave. Yeah, I'm out because of it. I'm meant for business, So when I left, they were moving towards starting a mine in Mozambique and Zimbabwe, also in Lesotho.
Yeah.
And currently they also by the time I left, they were opening a mine in Emelo. But they started with supplying. And one of the biggest challenges that they had when they started, the husband left work, the wife was still working.
Okay.
He was working for Eskom.
Okay.
And they had a bond house. Then they had to sell their house, go somewhere else to do a rental, so that they can have capital to do their business. But today, where they are, they have mines.
They bought mines.
Yeah, they have mines like in Middleburg, in Witbank, and they have trucks.
Yes.
Like if you go drive around, you'll see their trucks. The cars that are around here in Witbank, their cars are like top notch. And also the cars, the bakkies that their employees are driving, it's not just your just GD6.
Yeah.
These guys that driving your latest Land Cruiser. See the latest Land
I
Cruiser?
see it.
I saw it around. I'm like, yo, these guys
Wow,
are big. These
big
guys are
now.
doing well. And they moved from renting the office space from Smoky Mountain. Now they're at Corridor Hill. Big, beautiful office.
Wow.
And they're doing quite well. And they're opening now opportunities for other young entrepreneurs who want to get into industry.
Which company is that?
I'll tell you. Yeah, but yeah, they're actually doing well. So, I mean, I think that should be something to encourage you.
Yeah.
You know, to say, like, I think it's more similar because your
Yes, it's
husband, like
similar.
now when you quit work,
Yeah.
husband was support, like assisting you here and there, you know, but today they've made it. They have
Wow.
minds doing well, so it must inspire you.
That's
to
the way
keep-
I wanna
Yeah.
head to. Because initially when I started MCC,
Yeah.
I wanted to make money so I can fund Agrism.
Okay.
But I just fell in love with this industry. I think I wanna grow in it.
Okay. So what's your grandfather?
He's home.
How's
in
the business?
Bushbuckridge. He stopped
He stopped.
because he got sick and
Okay.
we couldn't continue.
And the farm, how big is it?
How many hectares? I think it's 15 hectares.
Okay.
But it's not operating now.
Okay, but I think it's in as much as you'll be focusing on this, let MCC grow, but invest.
Reinvest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
invest.
it's
Like
still-
it's down in the spread. You can plant, you can do something,
That's true.
you can buy goats, cows.
Yeah,
You know, remember
yeah.
like in Witbank, you don't have most of those things. So you
Yeah.
can supply, bring them back here. You have one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have any other thing maybe that you'd like to share before we leave? Maybe share with the guest? Or any question that maybe I just forget. Maybe it's something that you'd like to share.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to say that let's follow our dreams.
Okay.
Our dreams are valid. It might seem impossible when you're starting out because of your circumstances or lack of resources, but let's push. It's possible.
Okay. So you heard it, guys. It's possible. Let's push. So thank you so much for taking your time on your busy schedule to come and just grace us with your presence and with your knowledge. We don't take it for granted.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we, you'll get
Hopefully
this, but
there'll
we'll
be-
call you.
Hopefully there'll be a season 2
There
and I'll
should
be
somewhere. Then you come back, you tell us, okay, guys, sing pushile, sing lano manje. Tell us,
update,
yeah. No, we speak it in
Yeah,
the
into
atmosphere and it will happen. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, also watching the Mind Your Business podcast. Do remember to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Please do come back next time when we share another episode. We are out.